Buying your first set of clubs is a bit like buying a car. There's absolutely tons of options and it's nearly impossible to know where to start and how much to spend. Now, Stix have come up with a solution to that, and it's backed by golf's greatest ever player, Jack Nicklaus. What I have today is Stix Golf 10 club beginner set, and I'm going to take these out of my home club Sandmore to play and see how they perform on the golf course. So, first swing with this club is going to be my first shot off the tee. So first impressions, it's actually pretty nice to look at. I quite like the alignment sight dot thing. The two-tone crown is quite nice. It sort of generally does have quite a feel of a premium club. Now we have, this one has come with a reg shaft. It is 10.5 degrees of loft. And I quite like that they've kept it simple. There's not loads of tech on there. You know, this is a club for sort of the new player, so it makes sense that it's not overly complicated. So, let's give this a go. It feels quite good to swing, to be fair. Perfect. Absolutely A1 over the marker there. Like the way that felt. Not sure that was the fastest shot I've ever hit, but actually felt pretty solid out the middle. It's come out with a draw, so really happy with that. So one of the questions you get asked when talking to new players about clubs, and one of the things I really like about this set is there's only 10 clubs. Now, what people will say is you can have up to 14, why would you only buy a set with 10 in? And actually, what you find is when people don't swing it really quickly, they usually have clubs in the bag that generally do the same job. So I know people who carry, a 6, 5 and 4 iron, where those clubs basically nearly all go the same distance. And in my opinion, you just probably shouldn't carry the 5 and 4 iron. So the perfect beginner set, in my opinion, is a bag with fewer clubs, where all the clubs do a specific job, and obviously you then have room to add clubs in at a later date. If you find that you have a gap, but you just don't need all that to start with. I like to keep it simple. You only need 10 clubs. The longest iron's a 6 iron. We then have a hybrid, a fairway wood and a driver. And that's pretty much a perfect set for someone new to the game. So, first hole at Sandmore's a par 5. I've hit the perfect drive, top of the hill, 200 yards to that flag. I'm going to hit the 4 hybrid here. Because the 6 iron won't get me there. It is into the draft, so it might be like more of a 210 shot. But again, I like the style. I like the alignment dot. I'm not sure it needs Jack Nicklaus's signature on the crown personally, but I can live with it. Oh, I've hit that bad. Necky. Greenside bunker. All right. Well, that was as much of a shank as you can do with the hybrid, and it still got down the hole, got into the greenside trap. So pretty good I would say. Not really a hybrid man, but that was all right. The shafts are obviously just Stix own graphite regular shafts, so they sort of like feel like the right weight, but just not quite stiff enough for me, but perfect for the beginner player, definitely. The grips feel good, and the heads actually feel solid. They look good, they feel solid, so like can't really complain. And I suppose for £700, what you're getting is a bag. All the clubs have the same branding, so they look really smart. The clubs look smart in the bag. And you're just taking away all of that stress of, am I getting the right clubs? Is it the right loft? Has it got the right lie angle, the right shaft? Everything in this is matched up and built for that new player. So the advantages of that are pretty good, really. For someone who doesn't know a lot about golf clubs, these are pretty much the right things to buy. So something I really like about this set is how the 56 degree sand wedge is like a blade style wedge. It doesn't have the same head style as the irons, which a sand wedge shouldn't. So I think that looks really good. Again, really smart. This is perfect for this shot. fatted it. Very, very, very average there, but that was not the club, that was me. But looks good behind the ball. Should we have a YouTube debate? Rake in the bunker, obviously. Leave in the comments, what do you think? Should the rake be in the bunker or not in the bunker? I think it should be in because that allows the ball to run into the bunker and not affect play, where rake on the edge can stop a ball, which is stupid. So, putter. Nice that the putter has its own head cover. Alignment lines on this are really, really good. It'd be interesting to see how it feels off the face. 25 footer up the hill, bit of left to right. Stop, stop, stop. Not bad. Came off the face nice. Alignment aid's good. Grip feels good, to be fair. Never in doubt. Very good. Par. That was good. I like these, it's pretty good. Gonna hit the 6 iron off this tee. We've got a short par 4. And I'm not going to try lob it at the green. We've got a nice low sun today. I'm getting a bit of glare off that shiny top line. It's a bit annoying. Quite a good looking iron though. It's a bit like a semi-blade, cavity back sort of thing. A little bit of offset, which I presume is to help that beginner player. I'm just gonna sort of see if I can hit a little draw to that tree. Not great. Not great that, but that's fine. Whoops.
What do you play off, mate?
It's supposed to be good. It's supposed to be these clubs are terrible. No, I'm joking. Bit of a blunder. Can't describe the clubs to you after that shot, can I? That's where my ball should have gone after the tee shot. We'll just pick up from there. So we've got approximately 70 yards, 56 from the fairway. Looking for some redemption after what was a terrible tee shot. I think the heads feel quite light. Or the shafts feel heavy, don't know which. It's a great strike. I need to get down. Felt really nice that. Sounded good as well. Very nice. Good wedge and a good putt are always enough to save the hole. Go, go, go. Oh, that is brutal. What a shame. That's fine. Like this putter. I think people will really benefit from the alignment aid. You know, that yellow into black line makes this putter really easy to aim. And the ball comes off the face at a good pace as well. So I do like how that feels. It doesn't feel like light and cheap like some of the other like beginner starter sets that people turn up for lessons with. It feels like a quality club, so that's good. Also, top marks for the putter having its own head cover. I hate to see a putter rattling against the wedges in the bag. Just upsets me. Damaging the clubs, just like the cameraman. Took a brand new putter and just chucked it in the bag, no head cover, disgusting. So, I'm gonna hit a fairway wood now, just for the sake of trying to hit old clubs. We have the graphite regular flex club. Again, really like how the styling of these clubs is all the same. Obviously, if you're buying mix and match stuff from eBay, you don't quite get that. The other thing that this is good about this fairway wood is it is a 3 wood, but it's actually 16 degrees of loft, which just is a little bit more loft than normal fairway woods, and that's just because fairway woods are really hard to hit right. So having a little bit more loft makes it a little bit more playable. It also has a really shallow face, which means it's easier to get up in the air, which is perfect for the beginner player. It really feels like Stix have had a good long think about the design of these clubs and what would make them right for a new player. I think they've done a great job. On the next hole, I'm going to hit driver and we'll get some ball speed data just to see how it performs. But you're going to have to watch me make another bogey here first. Pretty good. Definitely not hooked as much as I thought. But it is absolutely safe in play. That felt really good. It's gone quite high. maybe a bit higher than I thought it was going to. But again, nice high launch club, really enjoyed hitting that. This is going to work well for new players. That was nice. The reason a high launch club would be good is just because when you're hitting different points in the face and you're an inconsistent ball striker, we need that ball launching up in the air just so that we have fewer shots running along the ground and wasting shots where the ball doesn't go anywhere. So a high launch fairway, a high launch hybrid will always suit a new player. So just in the semi, I've got about 130 down to that flag. I get to re-attempt an iron shot for you to get a better feel for how the irons perform. Crosswind, aim a little bit left. Don't be afraid of going long with that flag. Oh, that was majestic. Lovely. Very nice. Good result. Felt really solid off the face. That was definitely out the middle. You know, these are pretty good, to be fair. I mean, some of the beginner stuff I've seen people turn up with, like package sets, have been pretty bad. Where this has some decent, decent quality to it. Like, it feels solid, like they perform well. And they look pretty good behind the ball, to be fair. And like, we have like this sort of two-tone chrome heel and then like a matte face. I would have preferred if the toe was chrome like the heel. I think that would have probably looked a little bit better. However, so many new players strike the ball off the toe that eventually they become worn and not shiny anyway, so maybe that's why they've done that. But looks really good, and that was a nice shot, so top marks so far. Okay, this is a great look at birdie. Hit. Oh, Jack. That is disappointing. You give me that. Oops. I could use this putter, to be fair. I could put this in the bag. It feels right, it's easy to aim. Probably would change the head cover, a bit flimsy for me. But it is a bargain, this set, so what do I expect? The GC3 is out. We are going to have some ball data on this drive. So my normal drives outdoors get to about anywhere from 160 to 165 ball speed, which then equates to something like a 280-ish carry. So for this club, what would be acceptable is somewhere above 154. Obviously, this isn't going to have the same technology that the QI35 has, because you can buy the whole set for what you can buy one of those drivers for. But we are expecting some performance, so let's give it a go. It's okay, it's a fraction Healy, 154 ball speed, 249 carry. Wasn't a perfect strike, so the spin's a little bit up, 3,349. But actually, that's pretty good. To say that wasn't a perfect strike, 154 ball speed off a miss hit is pretty darn good, actually. So, if that was out the middle, maybe the speed would have been a couple miles an hour faster, spin might have been a bit lower, so maybe got to 260. And then we're really only like 20 yards behind a driver that's 650 pounds or whatever. So performance, in terms of value for money, cost per yard or cost per performance, we're absolutely right up there with that driver. That has actually probably performed better than I thought it might. That's very good. Slightly uphill, crosswind, out the wet rough. So calculate that one at home. Just got some grass in my eye. I think that's probably run too far. Maybe. It's a nice shot. Sort of low draw. That was good. These feel really good. I'm sort of running out of things negative to say about these clubs because they're actually pretty good. The obvious discussion would be, when would someone buy these instead of buying second-hand clubs? And I think the answer to that is probably you just might not be that into clubs and gear and stuff. And if you're not into gear, you don't want to spend the hours and hours and hours of researching, what to buy, what's the line angle, what's the shaft flex, what's the shaft weight, all that sort of stuff. Because you can go wrong. And I have seen that where people have bought some clubs second hand without really knowing what they're buying. And they just buy clubs that aren't right, and then they probably then have to get rid of them. So these would be great for someone who's not particularly into gear. If you do want to know more about buying second-hand clubs, we have made a video on that in partnership with Golf Clubs for Cash. So check that out. That'll be on screen somewhere around now. And then the reason you probably wouldn't buy these clubs is there's a danger when you buy a package set like this that you are going to sort of grow out of them, so to speak, quite quickly. Now, I think with these clubs, because they've got graphite shafts in the woods, steel shafts in the irons, they have a decent 56, they've got 3 different woods. I actually think you're not going to grow out of these very quickly, but I have seen in the past people turn up with a brand new beginner set, and then within 3 months they've gotten really keen and the clubs just aren't going to suit them anymore, in which case you have wasted your money. So these are actually really good, and I sort of can see that a new player would benefit from getting these, and actually they're going to enjoy using them. The bag's nice and light, easy to carry, it's got good straps, the head covers all match. You know, you look like it's pretty good. You just want to be careful if you're like a super fast swinger, or you are super tall or super short, or there is something about you that is abnormal. Buying a package set like this is a little bit dangerous because you're in danger of having something that doesn't suit you. So these wouldn't work for me because the shafts aren't right in the woods. So I'm not going to hit the hybrid very well, and I might not hit the fairway wood far enough. But these are slightly different problems for people that you might, you discover later, if you like. As far as sort of package sets go, I don't think I've come across better than these. Nowhere near right enough, or the right speed. Perfect. So, the Stix Jack Nicklaus 10 club set are brilliant in my review. The irons feel good, I like the sand wedge, the putter's great, the woods perform, out the middle, the driver went well, the fairway was easy to hit, and actually those are pretty good. I love the fact that it's 10 clubs. I think if you're a new player, you're looking to buy your first set, you're looking for something simple, easy, you don't want to put much thought into it, these are exactly right for you. So hopefully you've enjoyed that. I've shed some light on something interesting there. If you have enjoyed the video, if you could please like and subscribe, that would be great. It helps us grow, helps us get more opportunities to do cool things. But yeah, that was good. Enjoyed that. Love the golden bear.